Okay, today I want to show a statistic that's going to blow your mind. Okay, so in October 2020, 56% of Americans said they were better off under DJT's administration. When you compare and contrast to other previous incumbents that was seeking a second term, in December 2012, 45% said they were better off in the Obama-Biden administration. And then you go back in history, in October 2004, it was 47%. And then 1984, it was 44%. When these when these incumbents were seeking a second term, they didn't have a pandemic, a global pandemic. DJT had a global pandemic, and 56% of Americans still said they were better off under his administration. So the unemployment rate during the pandemic, you know, in April 2020 was like 14.7%. And then by December 2020, the unemployment rate fell to 7%, and they had the vaccine rolled out. For all the people who are now making excuses that he's about to take credit of the 46th president economy, he's the one who set him up for success because by December 2020, he already had millions of doses administered in his administration. Before he even took office, he was part of the recovery phase. The unemployment fell from 7%. And then he took over in January 20th and he had all the executive order. And then the economy was bouncing back and then he was able to have jobs. But honestly, let that statistic sink in a little bit. In the global pandemic, more than half of Americans still said they were better off under his administration. Now, we had a lot of death in COVID, but America don't really have a good healthcare system. Um, so again, with that narrative of taking credit for a booming economy, it's just a bunch of nonsense. And again, I bring the pain. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say today. So, and if the economy was so great, then Joe would have been reelected. They would not have led a coup against him to force him to drop out, or they would not have rigged the DNC primary to make it hard to challenge him for his nomination based on these economic numbers. Or his VP would have won this election. No, the economy was not great. That's why the Fox News poll said 79% of Americans believed they were moving in a wrong track. And then the NBC News poll that said that in head-to-head comparison, only 25% of the policy help compared to DJT. It was 44% when he was in office. So this election was like an apples to apples comparison. They had to compare, the American people had to compare how well they were doing under both administration. And the number spoke for itself. that it's DJT administration that they were better off. That's all I gotta say.